Oh dear. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all staying safe and warm out there. Today's video is I was vegan for 10 years and here's what I've learned. So if you're thinking of becoming vegan, if you've ever been curious about it, hopefully my experiences may help you make that decision. So anyways, I was vegan for 10 years. I started in 2014 and I stopped being vegan this year, 2024. So yeah, just 10 years. In fact, I stopped only about 2 months ago. So I became vegan just for a healthier diet, to eat a healthier diet. And so I'm going to tell you about my experiences and let's just get right into it. I'm going to be reading from notes here, so I made like some bullet points. So yeah, I might be looking down a lot, but don't let that bother you. So anyways, one thing about it is that it can be very difficult, so it will be a challenge. Your dining options are going to be limited, obviously. Not every restaurant does that, and even the ones that do, they usually only have like one choice for you, whereas obviously for everyone else they have like a whole bunch of different choices. You're gonna get like, unless it's an actual vegan restaurant, you're gonna get maybe like one choice on the menu of what to eat. So if you and your family or whoever goes there a lot, if that's your go-to restaurant when you go out, yeah, you're going to be eating the same thing all the time, and you might get bored of that. It's also inconvenient too. Anything that you eat that is not fruits and vegetables or canned, unless you make it yourself, it's usually frozen, which is not that healthy either. So like a lot of these vegan meals, you go out and get the fake chicken, the fake fish and stuff, which by the way, when veganism first started getting, when the trend of buying, well, I wouldn't call it a trend, but when companies, let's say, started getting savvy to vegan people's diets, and they're like, well, we're going to start making this kind of food now for people. It didn't taste so great. It tastes a lot better now. Very good. In fact, I have some relatives who I've let try my food, and they were like, oh, this tastes just like the real thing, To which I would say, well, I bet if you tasted them side by side, you would be able to tell the difference, because I don't think they taste the same. I think they both taste good, but they don't taste 100% the same. Close. It'll give you the illusion that it tastes the same, but you could really tell the difference, in my opinion. But so these companies start making them, and so you're going to be eating a lot of that frozen stuff. You'll never get obviously fresh fish or meat like you can if you're not a vegan. Most of the stuff you eat that's not salad is going to be frozen if you're eating those meals, But you could always make your own food too. I was doing that at first, but as it turns out, I am, I guess, lazy in that department maybe. I don't know, or not really a great cook either, so I mean, who wants to sit there? I guess some people do. I don't want to sit there spending all this time of the day just to make one meal, you know what I mean? To me, it's a lot more than it is just making a regular meal. So anyways, it's going to be a little inconvenient for you. If you don't mind that, great, Some people enjoy cooking and things like that, so that could be good for you. Expensive, yes. This is going to be a big one for everyone because it is very expensive. And even now, it's even more in some instances. I used to love Just Egg, which is a egg substitute, obviously. And started out being like $5 or something for a, I don't know, a container like this, a little carton like this, and now it's like $7 or $8. For whatever reason, the price jumped. I heard it has something to do with the company. So I guess that's not the fault of just being vegan in general. It's the company making poor decisions. But anyways, vegan food, healthy food in general, whether it's vegan or not, just health food in general is always more expensive than regular food. But vegan food is going to be more expensive. So there's another consideration for you. If you could afford it and it doesn't bother you, then, you know, maybe it is for you. But the average person might not want to spend all that money. You know, if you have a budget and a family, it's just something to think about. So what about health benefits? To be vegan, you're going to have to take supplements because there are certain nutrients and vitamins that can only be found in animal products. So there's another cost, not a huge one, it's not that big of a deal, but vitamin B12 in general, you must take it or you will die. Humans need vitamin B12 to live, and it's only found in animal products. So you will have to supplement if you become a vegan. You will have to buy supplements. It might be lower in calcium, iron, and certain other, you know, vitamins, nutrients. So maybe, you know, you're gonna have to take other ones as well. Maybe I was taking a daily multivitamin, you know, and that's not necessarily a bad thing anyway, whether you're vegan or not, to take a multivitamin. So I'm not really saying it's bad or good. You know, you have to decide for yourself. Being a vegan, I mean. So, but anyways, I'm giving you these reasons. A lot of processed vegan foods, like what I was saying before, the companies who make these fake chicken and fake fish stuff, a lot of it is processed and frozen. Well, all of it is processed and frozen. And that's not necessarily healthy. In fact, it's not healthy. So, you know, if you're doing a vegan diet to be more healthy, but you're eating all this processed frozen food, then you're kind of defeating your purpose, as I've realized. So, in fact, a lot of these alternatives are highly processed and high in sodium. So, yeah, that's not good. And as I said before, you need to be aware of any potential nutrition deficiencies and supplement and take care of that. Another point on health, and this is more in favor of veganism in one way, but studies from the Oxford component of the European Prospective Investigation into Cancer and Nutrition have found that vegans may have a lower risk of heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, and certain cancers. But they're also at a higher risk of fractures. I guess that's from not drinking milk, huh? But for most nutrients, the intakes of both vegans and meat eaters are nutritionally adequate, and they either meet or are close to meeting other government guidelines for good health. And many of the differences are, you know, nuanced. They're small differences that are inconsequential. So basically, whichever of those two diets, the meat eating or non-meat eating, you're getting almost the same nutrients either way. So why did I decide to quit? Well, for a lot of the reasons above, but also because humans were designed to eat animals. The proof of that is that, like I said earlier, you need vitamin B12 to live. If you don't get vitamin B12, you will get permanent nerve damage. You will start to get nerve damage, eventually you will get permanent nerve damage, and eventually you will die. You need vitamin B12 to live. And sure, nowadays you can get vitamin B12 supplements, but the fact that mankind wouldn't have survived as long as we have without it is proof to me that we were designed to be meat eaters. So why fight nature is my theory. If that's the way nature intended us to be, then why fight it? And not with some supplements. There's nothing wrong with supplements. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying it's normal, it's natural for humans to eat meat. So I'm just going to go back to doing it. But that doesn't mean I'm going to go back to the way I was eating meat. In other words, yes, go back to eat meat, but maybe eat it in smaller portions and only certain types of meat, mainly chicken and fish. Red meat is the real big bad one for you. So very small amounts of red meat. And if you think about Asian diets versus diets in the US or Europe, they're very healthy in Asian countries. And it's most likely because they eat small amounts of meat and more like noodles and rice or whatever, whereas we, Americans and probably Europeans too, and Western countries, instead of our small portion being meat and big portion being vegetables, it's the opposite. We like big juicy steaks and like a plate of chicken and stuff. And a lot of us don't even eat vegetables. Well, I shouldn't say a lot of us, but there are some of us who don't even like vegetables, who won't eat them, which is definitely not good. So we should be doing the opposite. We should have little amounts of meat in our dinners and large amounts, fill the rest of the plate up with vegetables. So, all things in moderation. There's nothing wrong with eating meat. It's good for you, but, we tend to overdo it. We tend to overdo a lot of things. But anyway, so that's my conclusion, and that's my video. I hope you got something out of that. Hope you all are staying safe and warm, and have a good day, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you.